Alright, on this video I'm going to break down how I caught the high day short on S&P today. I'm going to show you how I got my levels and how you could have confirmed the trade with your own analysis and everything in between. So as always, I'll show you guys the levels here that I had, and I'll show you my pre-market game plan. So pre-market game plan right here. This is what the market looked like before. The main level I was watching was these 5273.50s because that was the same level from yesterday. It was last week's low. Also, if you look at this distribution here, this was one singular day, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4 inside days, and we were breaking out. So technically, when we're breaking out of balance, sellers want to defend the retest if we get back up into the balance low. So balance low, we break below it, which was at 7.4s. Sellers want to defend that. So let me pull that up. I'll show you guys even more context. You can see right here, this was a prior area of interest from a few weeks ago where we had two periods at this high, which left a poor high, and then that was resistance, came down into it, it was support, it was last week's low. We were gapping below it, and the reason why I found it so significant is because if you go to a weekly chart, you could see that the S&P, let me just go to a totally blank chart. That's not it. All right, this is better. You could see ES has not breached the prior week's low until this week. This was a significant low. So now that we are below it, that's where they wanted to defend any retest into. And look at this. Perfect reject of this area. So that was the basis of where I got that area of interest from. But you could see here, yesterday the bulls did a great job of defending that prior week low. However, we were failing to hold it overnight and is failing to go higher. Scenario number one, I'm closely watching the 7350 to 75. It was the prior poor high, which I showed you. A poor high basically means that if there's a lot of time spent at a high generally, for example, let me break it down. This was a poor high here because there was two periods, aka letters at this high. Usually we should have one letter at a high a day. If we have two letters, it means the market spent a lot of time there, and it's a significant area of interest that usually gets revisited. Same thing here, look, this is a poor high as well. Yesterday's high, there's like 4 to 5 letters up there. You call it periods. Every period or every letter is 30 minutes. So again, this scenario number one, I'm watching this 7350, which I showed you guys how I found the level, 7.5. It was the prior poor high from where I showed you. It was the prior week low, support now resistance, and 5275 was selling, sellers from the tape. So this was after the market closed yesterday, around 4:52 to 4:37 p.m. Eastern time. You'll see there was larger size hitting the market aggressively on the offer as the market was moving down, which is very suspicious because market's moving down and there's aggressive traders hitting the offer. You just don't normally see that. So a key level developed for me in this area. You know, you call it the 70s. I was watching the 7.5s because guess what? It aligned perfectly with that prior week low that I showed you guys. So here I showed the weekly chart, the daily chart. The main thing too was, look, ES, ever since these Tuesday highs, every rip has been sold into. So recently we've been in a buy the dip. Now it's selling the rip. Every time market moves up, sold, moves up, sold, moves up, sold, moves up. You want to look to potentially sell it. Same thing with the VIX futures. Move down, gets bought, move down, gets bought, move down, gets bought. So it's clear there's some selling activity because when ES moves down, VIX should be moving up. You can see VIX is moving up, ES is moving down. So in my opinion, the sellers were in control and we're coming back into a prior support, now resistance. Long story short. So, like I said, I was watching the 7350s. Now, look at this. Market opens up. Let's pull back up my drawing set from before. Not sure which one it was, to be honest. ND. Okay, yeah. So I showed you guys 7350, 75s. Market opens up. All right. Opens up. You'll see in the first few minutes of market open, we come up into the 7350, which was that prior week low that I showed you guys, and I'll show you guys what the tape looked like. This is very important. There was major selling activity at that. So let's go back up. Look, Market comes into the 7,350 level that I showed you guys to 7.5. You're gonna see as we move up, there's a weird 4-tick offer sitting here. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks, and we move up. And as we move down, this offer just what I call bleeps into the market, basically when it steps in out of nowhere. So this is the time axis, and look, this all stepped in at one time for 4 ticks. It's very large size. It's not a retail trader. It's unusual activity. So I saw selling activity at that high. I could even show you it in real time. Look, 9:33. I said there's a weird 4-tick offer, and the market was moving up. So I saw this as weakness. But I didn't take the market short here, even though it was at my resistance level, because I don't like trading right out the opening gate. I like to let the market develop. Sometimes my worst trades come when I just jump the gun and I take it right off the open. So that's what it looked like here. And it sold off, and I missed this move down into my target, which was cool. You know, that would have hit my target, but I got in with better confirmation moving forward. So what you'll see here, look, this is when I first started to see weird activity. So I'll show you guys pre-market. Look at the tape at this 5272s. This is pre-market, by the way. So we come up, look at this. We come up into it. And look at the column here, current volume profile. It's basically showing you the volume transacted on the offer and the bid at the current price, meaning like the current screen that's being shown, not to the left or to the right. Like right here, there's 2,200 lots which hit the offer and the market couldn't move higher. This is pre-market, by the way. Okay? That's suspicious. And we sell off of that, and then look, as the market opens, you'll see it again. Look, market opens up, look at this. We come up into it, first 2 minutes, look, this is the current volume profile, so not what I just showed you. This is a whole new current volume profile. 3,656 lots are on the offer versus 84 on the bid. And 5,800 right now is on the overnight plus the regular trading hours. That's very weird, and this offer got filled here. There's a 368 lot offer, and then boom. Showed you guys this, we break the highs, then we get back under the 7.2. So for me, that was developing, and I said, okay, I'm not going to chase the market short, but if we could come back up into this 7.2 to this high a day and sellers step in, I want to look for ways to play the market short. I'm seeing potential selling activity. We're under my 7.5 level. It's acting as resistance. I'm seeing weakness across the board. NASDAQ was weak. Boom. Selling at prior week low. Didn't catch it. Happened too fast. Again, still on watch. Look, 942. This is before we even tested it. 942 is right here. Still on watch. I didn't trade any of this. I waited patiently for the market to come up into it. Fast forward. Boom. Look, we come right up into the 7.2s, and then the market immediately gets shut down off of that. So I took the market short here. I was targeting 6.6. My stop loss was above the high. And that was my analysis. Market starts to move down, and look, I was targeting 6.6 and I get 1 tick. So basically the target was 1 tick away from hitting. My target was at 6.6 and we traded the 6.625s. So that was so unfortunate because I was short here. Look at the low on the top left corner, 6.625. So when the market moved up, I got out of my position for a small win or break even because to manage my risk. I wasn't going to let a trade that got 1 tick go red on me. I could always re-enter. So it was a break-even / very small win, and I was super cool with that. Said I'm out here where I got in, got 1 tick away. I'm not letting it go back. Red on me, can always re-enter. And then right here when the market looked like this, right? This is the second time we're coming back up into it at 10.06. Market looks just like this. Second time around here. I take the market short right here, 10.06. What I saw was as we moved up, there's a little bit of buying absorption, but the main thing is as the market dipped down, a large offer stepped in for 466 lots right here, and then there's 217 lots right here. So I saw this as, okay, this seller's defending his position. If we come up, we want to see this act as resistance, or the odds of it moving lower or higher. Like there's a high odd this moves lower off of this from my back testing, from my years of watching the tape. My stop was above 7.3, and then there another, look, 528 lots stepped in again. Then look at this. Same thing that happened earlier, even more buying. So this is remember, this is very unusual activity. So this is where I showed you our first short in real time here. Market came here, I took that first short, I got out where I entered. This is where I re-entered, and look at this. Okay. 527 lots, and then we come up into it. Look at the current volume profile here. Another time. look, this is 5,600,000 lots hit the offer. And now this is 11,000 if you add all of them up together. And it's resisting price. If you read any auction or volume, a lot of people read the Anna Cooligan volume by price. Whatever book you read on volume, I think anyone can understand that this is not normal. Market should be moving higher. There's clearly some absorption here. There's clearly sellers stepping in. And once I saw that, I was like, holy fuck, this thing is about to blow up. Because that's a large amount of size and there's clear selling activity. Boom, market moves down. You just see aggressive selling out of this high. I was looking for 6.6s. And when we sold off into 6.6s, I got out right here. So that was my trade recap for today. The first trade was better risk to reward. It was around 2-1. But like I said, I got stopped out at my entry for a break even / small win. Second trade wasn't the best risk to reward, but it was a really high probability setup. It pretty much worked out immediately. And in hindsight, yeah, I wish I held it into the low a day because that would have significantly increased my risk to reward. And it wasn't the best risk to reward. Like, this is nothing to brag about. Don't get it confused. This is not the best trade, but it was a small little scalp. I'll take it. And you can see that was the high of the day. Market sold off from that, and yeah, that was my analysis on taking the market short today. And to add the cherry on top, I'll show you guys Sierra chart. So not a lot of people have this program. It's a really good program. I recommend buying it immediately if you're into order flow. If not, no need. But I'm going to show you guys the tape on the order flow as well. Alright, give me a second here. Alright, first thing I'm going to show you guys is the depth of market. So this is a depth of market. What you're seeing here is volume by delta. Look, there's a large outlier here at 7.2. Look at all the volume here versus the 7.2s, and that's where I showed you where that level for me developed. It's still key moving forward. If we come up into it again, you want to gauge how the market reacts to that because there's a large participant there. This is not a retail trader, I promise you that. This is either an institutional trader or a hedge, I don't know. It's a large pocket, whoever that is. I don't know what their agenda is, but you gotta watch it. And then I showed you guys depth of market. I'll show you guys a whole different visual as well. I'll show you guys the footprint too. Show you guys the delta footprint. This is a delta footprint, similar to what I just showed you, but not the same thing. You'll see pre-market. This was that large size here. Look, 2,200 lots at the offer. Then another 3,500 right here. Look at this. And then we come back up into it. Look at this, another 5,000 gets absorbed by a passive seller before that massive move down. So I showed you guys that. Basically all you need to see. I showed you guys bookmap, the tape, depth of market, and everything. Yeah, little trade breakdown.